Onalaska is my foundation.
Well, now it means community.
Great place, one word? Home, I guess.
It's a friendly little town.
Health.
The one word for me would be home. Onalaska is all I've ever known as home, so...
Be home.
Family.
Enjoyment.
I would want to say great, and I want to say home. It's just, I'm so glad I spent the last 50 years here.
This community is real. They are not phony. They don't pretend to be people that they're not. When they come into your shop and they start talking to you, they're exactly who they are. They are kind, they are loving. I don't hear people backtalk about other people. They just celebrate the fact that they live in a beautiful rural community with clean air and that they can love and share with the community. And I just can't imagine being a part of a business community that's more friendly and more real and more honest than what we have right here.
I probably would say that if you don't have a job here, you're really hurting. And we just have two small industries here. So it would have to be, but there's people that like it for some reason that I don't know, but they drive clear to Olympia and Tacoma and Seattle from here. So there must be something here, and I think it's mostly the schools. They have a real fine school system, and I think that's what they want the kids out of the cities.
I just love Onalaska. The loyalty to this community means a lot to me. I am true blue, purple and gold. I'll do anything for my school. We have a wonderful school and school district, teachers, everybody. And the people in the community are very supportive, and they have been excellent to me. I've had a couple hardships in my life, and the whole community came out and supported me, helped me raise my kids, and I am so thankful that I have family here that supports me and friends. And I just want to give back to the community that's gave so much to me.
Well, I think a small community like Onalaska offers a lot that that larger cities can't. You know, for instance, there's usually cheaper housing. There's, like here, there's more land available. You can, you know, the average Joe could come out here and buy a 5 or 10 acre piece of property and have a little patch of timber. They could have their own little picnic areas on their property, raise huge gardens, you know, that kind of thing. You're not that far from Portland and Seattle. You're not that far from some lesser sized cities to go out, commute, and go to work. But if you wanted to come and you had an entrepreneur type spirit and you wanted to come and start a local business, then you actually get to be the foundation part of actually growing a community by actually providing a service to a community and joining a partnership with other small businesses and then with the greater community as a whole. Small communities have great opportunity for, like with the local schools that they have. You know, something that huge, you know, like inner cities really struggle with, you know, and where parents and people in the community are actively involved in the school. And so, yeah, just the natural resource base of streams and rivers and bird watching, fishing, hiking, snow sports in the winter. I mean, you know, you don't have to go far.
There'd be the Carlisle Lumber Company in the mill, you know, the largest inland sawmill in the world. They'd ship out 40 carloads of lumber a day, not just old boards, but If you get in any houses, you'll see the stamp Carlisle Lumber Company, Onalaska, Washington. I've got a few souvenirs of that, and I sell a few that I've collected to artists that they make picture frames and stuff out of. But the logging business was it. You know, he had 5 steam engines, about 70 miles of his own railroad. Was hooked onto the Burlington Northern Railroad at Napa Line. Big business.
I've never gone to any other school besides Onalaska, so I don't know any different, but my cousins actually go to Chehalis, and in his graduating class there will be 250 students. In my graduating class there will be about 45 to 50, so it's a big difference, but I love it. I like to know everyone. I like to know what's going on with everyone else's lives. It's just, we're a family here.
It was wonderful because for the rest of my life, as long as I lived here, I knew people. And I not only knew their mothers and fathers, but now I know the children or the grown-ups that I had in school. I always just feel like Onalaska is kind of like kinfolk. You know, like all those third and fourth cousins you've got out there someplace that you don't know. Well, I kind of feel that way about the people in Onalaska.
So a lot of things that high schoolers do for fun is we go to the high school sports games, like soccer, football, volleyball at this time of year, basketball later on in the year. We just recently had our Spirit Week for homecoming, so we have that and dances. Because we're in a rural area, there's a lot of trails in the woods that you go on, so you can ride four-wheelers, that sort of thing out there. You go fishing, hunting, all that sort of stuff.
Well, I worked with the Little League and girls softball for 32 years, and we've come up with 4 good fields, and they're still improving the fields.
Yeah, when we first moved here, we had a theater, and that, of course, closed down, but we had some of the best movies here that they had before some of the bigger places had them, and that was great.
The change was when the mail went out, and we had everything here. Dry cleaners, shoe repair, dry goods, grocery store, theaters. We had everything here. And there's a lot of people from Chehalis come out here to see the movies because it was such great sound effects in it.
We used to have a J.C. Penney store, and we had all them things we had when Carlisle's mill was in. They had all that stuff here. I liked that, of course. But basically, we went to Chehalis for shopping. Yeah, we used to come down here when my husband and I went together. We came down every Saturday night to the movies.
It's one of the cheaper places to live, and I'd like to see it stay as it is. I don't want to see nothing developed. It's perfect just the way it is. Because when you start developing, it's going to cost you more money.
I see a lot of us high schoolers now. I think that we'll eventually return here because it's just so nice to have a family here and raise your kids here. So I see us returning here and us raising our kids here.
I definitely plan on coming back here, even if I do go to WSU or somewhere a little bit of a distance away. I definitely want to come back and raise my family here. And I see Onalaska growing a lot. I mean, a lot of the kids in my graduating class plan to stay here and want to open businesses here, whether it's, a big business or just take over their grandparents' dairy farm. I see it growing.
I moved to Onalaska in 1981 when I married my husband, Pete Murphy. He was from here. I always wanted to live in the outdoors. I always loved the rural lifestyle in the country, and I wanted to raise my family where they could play outside and enjoy the beautiful nature that we have around us, and that Onalaska just provided that for me. So I'm also a teacher, and I've been teaching at the school for a long time. Both of our kids graduated from here and had just good experiences in the school and the community here. From the very beginning, our mission was to overall reduce poverty, but we also wanted to bring our community together through community celebrations, kind of promote our rural lifestyle. And then through that process, we were able to purchase the lake that we're standing on now, Carlisle Lake, 72-acre piece of land with a beautiful 22-acre lake. And so we started developing this as a community park. Then, of course, the other project that the Onalaska Alliance does is the Apple Harvest Festival, and that was one of the projects that came out of the community meetings through the Horizons Project also.